Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Danielle. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Okay, if you're wondering why I'm in my bathroom, it's because I just filmed my last video. It was a get ready with me. I did my makeup. We talked about episode 7 of Gypsy Rose's Life After Lockup. And today we'll be discussing the season finale. And I just didn't feel like moving all my stuff. Why was I doing my makeup? It's a long story. Just go watch. Now, I noticed that some topics that I cover can be quite controversial, and I'm not sure why, because aside from the problematic creators that I cover that commit literal crimes, for the most part, the stuff I focus on is just petty tea, in my opinion. However, when it comes to Gypsy Rose, people tend to get really worked up. I'm here to review and share my opinions. If yours are different, that's fine. I encourage you to share your thoughts in a respectful manner in the comments. And remember guys, it's not that deep. So just watch, enjoy, and move on with your day. All right, ladies and gents, now let's get into the season finale of Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup, and buckle up because it's about to be a wild ride. So right at the start of this episode, Gypsy is back at it with her usual manipulation tactics. She's messaging Ryan, telling him that she still loves him while she's already been hanging out with Ken.
She texted me and said, "But I still love you. Man, I miss you." You know, things like that. And I'm texting her like, "Hey, I miss you. I really wish you'd call me or whatever, da-da-da-da." And the first thing she does is send me a picture that people have got that released of her and Ken. This is it. Ken came to visit. Her not wearing her ring. I said that was evil. She wrote, "We just hung out."
So yeah, she took this time away from Ryan to think about things and be away from him and decide if she still wants to continue on with this marriage or not. And she's messaging him, telling him that she loves him and misses him and blah, blah, blah. And she's already hanging out with Ken. Seriously? Why are you dragging this on? Why are you stringing this poor guy along? And I say poor guy loosely because we all know how I feel about Ryan. Like, for what though? Literally, for what? Okay, so massive trigger warning here. What I'm about to show you is so cringy. I don't even know if you guys will be able to handle it. It's pretty bad. So after this episode aired, Ryan took to TikTok Live to ask his viewers if they felt bad for him. Not only that, but he started polling his viewers, asking them to comment a red heart if they felt bad for him when they saw him cry, or a blue heart if they didn't. I swear to God, you guys, it is so bad.
Guys, what'd y'all think of me crying in the episode? Did it touch y'all's heart? Let me do a quick poll. Did you feel it? Did you feel... Like, red, yes, you felt it. Blue, no. Like, when I was crying in the episode, did it heart? Did your heart go out to me? Red, yes. Blue, no. It was heartbreaking. Yeah, it was. It's like, God, I cried that much. Well, it's not. There's a lot of blues. Some people didn't feel upset for me. Yeah. Nobody felt for me.
I can't take it. Oh my God. Literally, who asks that? Literally, who? That video is ingrained in my, like, you're gonna have to burn that out of my head. It is the worst video that's ever existed on the internet. So bad. So bad. Okay, so this next clip is just a beautiful example of how seriously selfish Gypsy is. Because when Ryan finds out that Gypsy's been hanging out with Ken, her concern is not his feelings. No. What? Why? No. Her only concern is being hit with adultery. That's all she cares about. In typical Gypsy fashion, all she cares about is herself. She's like,
I don't want to get hit with adultery, not for a friendship.
First of all, girl, we're not that stupid. Second of all, you have to watch the clip just to see how self-centered she actually is.
Don't even act like I don't have you for adultery.
I don't want to be hit with adultery. Not for a friendship.
She has the nerve to call Ryan selfish, and she is literally just like heartless, ruthless. Ryan, even though I don't like him, just had his heart ripped out. She left him. He saw pictures of her with Ken. They got matching tattoos. And what is Gypsy focused on? Herself. Getting hit with adultery.
And she goes on to tell me that, don't worry, we're just friends.
I wake up to the next day, I see them get matching tattoos. And when you put them together, it's a heart of two huskies, the dog they always talked about getting. So what I do is I take a picture of our actual dog, Pixie, and I said, are you really gonna take that dog over your actual dog that we bought together that's here right now? And she couldn't say no. The matching tattoos broke my heart. It was like, did I mean anything? Did I mean anything?
Like, girl, we're not fucking stupid, okay? Be so fucking for real right now. We know you and Ken made Whoopi. We know y'all did the bam bam boogie. We know y'all did the bam bam in the hand. So please, girl, don't act like we're clueless. And I'm not sure how many people caught this, but even Gypsy herself admits that she broke every vow that she made. Every vow, Gypsy? Do you even realize what that means?
I mean, if I was you, I'd probably hate me. I've broken every vow that I made.
To me, every vow means every vow. So she's still on the phone with Ryan talking about how she misses him. She can't give him the love he deserves, blah, blah. And out of nowhere, she says this.
I want a divorce, and in 6 to 9 months, I'm gonna be with Ken.
Gypsy is a fucking savage. Gypsy don't give a fuck. She doesn't care. And I guess the D really wasn't that fire. Now was it? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I really did feel bad for Ryan in that moment. And I'll tell you why. Because it's not like she's saying that she's gonna leave him to go find herself. She's gonna leave him because she's telling him she wants to find out what her life would have been like if she hadn't gotten married. But she's not saying like she's gonna leave him and just like work on herself and like find her place in the world or something like that. No. She tells him she's gonna leave him for another man's. Specifically the man's that she told him not to worry about. And I'm just like, did she really need to tell him that? That is pretty brutal. So after dropping this total bombshell on Ryan, what does she do? Hangs up and immediately calls Ken and spills every single little detail about their conversation, because literally this girl loves drama and attention. And I genuinely think that she's so obsessed with Ken because he's a challenge for her. Either he is not a jealous guy, or he doesn't show his jealousy, or he's just simply not that into her.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm driving. What are you doing?
I talked to Ryan. I just got off the phone with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
He wants to meet up.
No! But what do you want to do?
Obviously, I don't think it's a good idea. I told him point blank, I said, I want a divorce. And after this 6 to 9 months, I'm going to be with Ken.
You told him that?
Mm-hmm.
What'd he say?
He's still, like, trying to, like, work it out with me.
Sorry about that light. I moved the camera, so hopefully it's better. But it's just so tacky and childish, and I don't understand how she doesn't get this at her grown-ass age. So then Gypsy's getting interviewed, and she's talking about what her and Ken did when they first met up, including getting matching tattoos. And by the way, they're not cute. And just look at how happy she looks.
The idea of getting a husky together has always been, like, a thing that we bonded over. So when we reconnected, I was like, let's get matching husky tattoos. This was my idea. I'm like, let's do it. I'm like, this feels right. This feels good. For the first time, I'm like, hell yeah. Like, I'm happy right now. Like, this is freaking awesome. We just create happiness where it's almost like a giddy teenager happy. Having that taste of what it could be like with Ken just solidified my feelings for him. The heart wants what it wants. It's a complicated organ.
And don't get me wrong, she deserves to be happy. I'm glad she's happy, all of that. But here's the thing. I've never seen her that happy with Ryan. Not even close. In fact, she looks quite miserable with Ryan compared to this. So it just makes me think, like, did you ever even like that man? Like, at all? Did you like him at all? Even a little bit? Because to me, it seems like you couldn't stand him and you're obsessed with Ken. It's just upsetting because that is so unfair to him that you would do that to somebody and string him along knowing that you never really liked him in the first place. So that's what it seems like from the outside. But who am I? I mean, yeah, it's clear now that Gypsy and Ryan should have never even been together. But like, why get married to somebody if you know you never loved them as much as your ex? Because remember, she was with Ken for a while before she even met Ryan. So what I'm getting at is, was she using Ryan as like a rebound? I think I actually heard her say this before. However, why? Like, girl, you don't marry the rebound. What are you doing? That is so evil and gross. Like, why are we marrying the rebound? Are we thinking about our decisions at all? No? Okay, got it. So then Gypsy gets her rhinoplasty and it slays. And after she gets her surgery, she goes,
I'm happy with myself going forward. I just need to work on myself internally.
Yeah. So do I think she's really gonna do that, or is she just saying what she thinks the public wants to hear? Yeah, I think that's the case. I don't really think she means this at all, but could be wrong. So this next scene might just be my favorite scene, chef's kiss, of the entire show, because I cannot stand the stepmom Christy. And I love how the stepsister Mia basically calls her out on her shit. She doesn't hold back. She tells Christy the way she meddled in Gypsy and Ryan's marriage was awful. Then Mia says that if Ken wanted Gypsy to know why he left her so badly, then he should have told her himself and not through Christy. And I completely agree.
Because me and Ken never lost in touch.
But see,
it
that's
got
what
boring.
makes
You
me.
know, it was like
Don't cut me
happy
off.
birthday and stuff. You cut me off. It
Okay,
was. It
maybe
got
I'm
less.
wrong.
It got less and less. Like when they first split.
You played a big
We
role in
talked.
their thing.
Well, you
though.
know, she needed to know the real reason why he ended
Did
it.
she?
Yes, she did.
He
Because
should have told her that, not you.
Like I said, to me, Mia is the only likable person in this whole family / show, whatever. Gypsy's little sister is far more mature than Gypsy is. Way more mature. And I get that it's not entirely fair for me to compare them given Gypsy's past and the way she was forced to grow up slowly and thinking she was a lot younger than she was and all that jazz. But in my opinion, Mia is even more mature than her own mom. Then Mia tells her mom, like, straight up, you better not meddle in my relationship in the future. Like, if you were to do that to me, I would be so pissed. And Chrissy's like, oh, no. Like, that's different. Your situation's different. Chrissy's basically trying to downplay her meddling and make excuses for her bad behavior.
You ever came to me talking about one of my exes while I'm with Andre, like married, like that?
No,
is just,
that y'all situation's different. She needed closure, and she didn't have it. So I took it upon myself to do it. He let her go because he wanted her to find herself without him. The main reason why he ended it was not what we thought.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that either. I don't even know a man yet.
But-
you know, I still gotta.
Plus,
I gotta
too,
fuck them. I gotta make my own.
And that's something that I want you to do, like on your own time, you know?
and then I wouldn't have liked if Ryan would have dogged Ken after he knew the real truth.
He did.
That is still not your place.
Well, I didn't
That's the
say it was
whole-
my. I said this is my opinion. This is.
And he had every right to hate Ken and all that.
Well,
He has every single right.
exactly.
So let him feel the way that he
Exactly,
feels. Then why are you saying that you wouldn't want him talking about Ken like that? That is his
No,
feeling.
he has a better
Oh my
understanding
gosh.
of why.
I'm not. I'm okay.
I mean-
conversation done. I'm not. Before I get pissed off,
I
I'm not
just see
talking
things
about it
at
no
all
more.
different angles than you, I guess.
No, because you're saying one thing and then I say something else, but then you agree with me, and it's just flip
I
flop
don't
like
agree
that.
with. I'm telling you why I told her. Why I told Gypsy.
Y'all have
why
the worst
we can split
communication.
up.
Bitch, shut up. You all have the worst communication. Like, ugh, Gypsy is like such an annoying little rat sometimes. There is nothing worse when you're having a heated discussion or an argument with your own mom and someone chimes in to give their 2 cents. I hate that shit. She irritates the fuck out of me. Would have popped her in her brand new nose. I'm just kidding. That's a joke, guys. That's a joke. I don't condone violence. But that would have pissed me off. But I'm glad that Mia points out that she doesn't know if she necessarily believes Ken's claim that he left because he wanted her to find herself. Because honestly, I think that's a load of bull.
A little different thing between Ryan and Ken for me is that Ken knew that Gypsy was still married. Where's your respect for Ryan? You may not like the guy at all, but like that, for me, that says a lot about your character. And I don't feel like he was trying to protect Gypsy in the best way. How are you protecting her from what these people are going to say about her? How are you protecting her from what the world is going to think of her? You are not doing anything at all. Y'all are making irrational decisions based on short-term happiness instead of, thinking long-term.
Finally, someone is calling this out and not just taking everything at face value. And I totally agree. It really does say a lot about Ken's character that he took Gypsy away from her marriage. Like, it's such a load of BS that this guy loved her so much that he left her so she could go find herself. But then as soon as she does, he goes running back to be with her. Miss me with that shit. I am not buying that narrative, not one bit. And I love this part too. Check out Gypsy's face when Mia says that they just might have different morals and values.
There just have been many things from many different angles that have bothered me. And I don't know, maybe just different values, different morals, but I mean, it is what it is. It's not my life.
Well, like I said, normally that's not my values, but
it should have been 100%.
I'm an idiot in love.
You can see Gypsy isn't like necessarily ashamed, but she's definitely embarrassed by that comment. And I feel like she maybe finally started to realize how tacky it is to be married to someone and be planning your life already with someone else. You're not even divorced yet, girl. She may not have any remorse, but I think she definitely felt judged by Mia in that moment, and I'm living for it. Because that's exactly what she deserves. So remember when I said that Gypsy loves the attention of having people fight over her? Well, it doesn't just apply for men. Now that she's witnessing this interaction between Mia and Christy, look at her reaction to all of this.
Watching Mia and Christy fight, I'm just like, People get affected by my choices. I get affected by my choices. But at the end of the day, I have to also live with myself. And if nobody else is going to make me happy, I have to do what is going to make me happy.
It's really something. She seems to thrive on the chaos and conflict around her. Her reaction is so odd. Like, instead of showing concern or empathy, she's almost like amused by the drama. In my opinion, it's becoming pretty obvious that some of her family members are becoming quite fed up with her. Just look at her dad. He's got the look of someone who's just completely drained and over her drama. You can see it in his face.
I guess we're moving on to Ken. I have to start accepting.
Ken's a good guy. I've talked to him a lot more than you.
I'm not saying he's not a good guy.
Right.
And I don't blame him. I'd be exhausted by this ongoing nonsense. Then Gypsy actually admits that she married Ken so that she could have a place to stay when she gets out of prison. Okay, I totally believe that she used Ryan 100%, but I do not buy this reason that she's feeding her parents.
Well, she finally told me, and I asked her straight up. I said, so you didn't want to come live here because you were 32 years old and you thought you would be a burden? And she said, yeah.
Really?
That's the reason why she married him. Did she want to love him like he loved her? Of course. But when it's not there, it's not there.
Like I said, I believe she used Ryan 100%. However, I think she knew she could always stay with her parents and they would be perfectly fine with it. Because if you remember, when she was planning on leaving Ryan and she was talking about it with Christy, She had no problem letting Christy know that she was planning on moving back in with them. She didn't even bother asking Christy if she could move in. She told her that she would be moving in. She straight up tells Christy that she asked her probation officer if they could change her address to reflect her parents' house instead of Ryan's. She knew this was an option all along. Now you tell me, does this look like the face of someone who's afraid to ask their parents for a place to stay?
Texted my PO, and I asked him, I'm like, if I am not happy in Lake Charles, could I move in with my parents? And he's like, yeah, I mean, if you're not happy there, I can transfer your case, your paperwork, whatever, to where your parents are.
Like I said before, I believe she used Ryan. I don't know what the reason is. I have my suspicions. Maybe she thought she'd have more freedom at Ryan's house. Perhaps it's her pattern of constantly needing to be with a man and not being able to be single. She probably also knew Ryan would support her and do anything for her, and it might have seemed like a better deal. But what really gets me is that she's allowing her own father to feel as though he did something wrong to make her feel unwelcome.
I feel like a failure now that we had all that time to make her feel like she had a place to come to, and she still didn't feel that.
Gypsy, you're wrong for that. To me, it's just another gross example of Gypsy twisting the narrative to make herself the victim once again. And I don't know why Gypsy is so hung up about this adultery issue. I mean, she's basically outed herself for it, because in the show, she talks about going to Jazz Fest, and then in her TikTok live, she says she got pregnant at Jazz Fest, which means she got pregnant the weekend that show was filmed.
This weekend, Dad, Christy, me, and Ken are all gonna go to Jazz Fest.
That's the weekend that our baby was conceived, Jazz Fest, that, whole weekend.
So if she's concerned about privacy, maybe she shouldn't be flaunting her business all over the internet. She's totally contradicting herself and complaining about privacy, saying that social media is a doorway to hell, but also sharing all of her business for everyone online. I don't know why, but this next scene is just so awkward for me to watch. Gypsy, her dad, and Ken are sitting down, and her dad is basically giving them a pep talk, saying that, I know Gypsy wants a baby, but please wait. I'd be super disappointed. I just want her to get on her feet and you guys have a baby basically when you guys can get your own place and blah, blah, because she's living with them. And they're like, yeah, of course, there's plenty of time. And it's just like, spoiler alert, she got pregnant that weekend. Just like so hilarious in hindsight.
Oh, and the last thing I wanted to say, she wants a baby.
What?
I can tell, bro.
What? Where is this come from?
I don't know. I'm gonna tell both of y'all, just wait, okay? Okay, make sure y'all give y'all relationship a chance to develop without the stress of
We all want babies.
additional burdens, okay?
We'll have
I mean, I want a baby
Yeah.
too. I'm not gonna lie. I want a grandkid, but I don't want to be raising one.
We want it where it can go back home.
Please, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
No, I 100% agree with you on that. It's definitely,
Yeah.
it's
Y'all enjoy
ways-
each other.
Yeah,
first and
in
foremost.
time.
Lots of time.
But then we get hit with a twist that even I wasn't aware of before watching. Apparently, after Gypsy found out she was pregnant, she was sending photos of a pregnancy test to Ryan, saying that she didn't know who the father was.
I mean, I don't know what to think. A month right after she left, Gypsy texted me a bunch of pregnancy tests and said she was pregnant. Okay, well, who's the father? And it could have been me or Ken at that point. So she didn't know. She was like, I don't know.
I swear, this girl is like, something's going on. If that's true, that is wild, because she's on TikTok live every day, literally doing the most, convincing everyone watching that Ken's the baby.
Is the baby mine? Yes. No doubt. 100%. 110% sure. No doubt, no question, not at all. Sorry. Yes, I am sure. Sorry, Javi, but I am. The math is math, and you just don't know how to do it.
He is the father. This is absolutely 100% Ken's baby. There was never any question of paternity.
Baby's mine.
She's having Ken say it over and over and over again on TikTok. It's wild. And I want to make something clear. It's not that I judge her for having two men in her life, but what I do take issue with is her playing with people's emotions for her own entertainment. So now Gypsy's all about avoiding bringing drama to Ken's life. Funny how she didn't give a second thought when she was causing drama in Ryan's life, though.
I'm scared that I bring a certain level of drama to his life that I don't mean to bring. It's like my baggage.
So then the season finale ends with her crying because she's so happy. And then the producers ask her if she's afraid of Ken leaving her, given he's done it before in the past. And she responds by saying yes.
Are you worried that they'll leave again?
Yeah.
It's funny because, well, not really funny, but the way Gypsy talks about Ken, whether it's on the show, on TikTok, in interviews, it's very much giving codependency. And even Ken said himself that one of the reasons he broke up with her was because she was so codependent and he wanted her to go find herself without his influence or whatever. Whether or not I believe that reason is another story. But what's even funnier is that Gypsy herself had this to say about Ryan.
It's just ultimately, I know that I'm in a codependent marriage. I am in a codependent relationship. When I would hang out with y'all in Cutoff, he was feeling that need to have me home.
I'm watching Gypsy Rose leaving Ryan on Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup. And her reason for leaving him for a couple weeks, she's taking a break, is Ryan is codependent on her. And it's just funny, like, okay, one person can't be codependent. You are both codependent. Because if it was just one person, you wouldn't be there in the first place. Like, you wouldn't have gotten, codependence is like it's two. Not to mention what's happening is she's seeing Ken behind Ryan's back, but then she's gaslighting him and using an excuse, she needs a justification, like codependence or whatever. Sure, maybe they are codependent. Most people are codependent. But it's like, work through your marriage. Don't just blame it on him, and then that's why you're leaving. The reason Ryan is extra possessive is because he knows on a subconscious level, we all know on a subconscious level when somebody is messing around. So he knows she's not fully in it with him. So he's like hanging on and so tight, clinging to their relationship. And then therefore, then she's picking up on that, and then she's gaslighting him by saying it's him. But essentially, she's the one who is doing stuff behind his back.
I swear. Ultimately, I wish the best for Gypsy and her family, even if I'm not the biggest fan of hers. My feelings about her actions and her behavior don't change the way I feel about her on just like a human level. I'm not a psychopath, and I hope that her and Ken do have a happy, healthy, successful relationship. But if Ken's claim that he left her due to codependency is true because he's such an amazing guy and wanted her to have the freedom to go find herself, I'm curious how he feels about her makeover. Gypsy got her hair, nails, teeth, tan, and nose done to impress him and get him back. She even bleached her hair blonde because she claimed he liked blondes, and he says he never said that. So to me, it's not giving finding yourself as much as it's giving changing every little thing about you to please someone else. But hey, who am I to judge?
I'm living my best life and y'all can't take that from me.
Anyways, y'all, that was a season finale. I hope there's another season because this is such trash TV, but you know, this is like my guilty pleasure. I have a love-hate relationship with this show, and it's just like I eat it up. Please do me a solid. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to comment the red heart if you feel bad for me and the blue heart if y'all don't. Bye, guys.
Are you gonna remind yourself of that when things get hard?
How much more rough could it get?
Rough.